What's up, everybody? Welcome back. This is GRIZZ Zombies, and I'm Violent. I'll be your guide today as we do the full entire guide to the Moon Easter egg for Black Ops. This is Black Ops Zombies, and it's on the Xbox One, so everything you're going to be seeing is pretty much HD from the Xbox One. So we have done it on the 360 before, and as you know, every single time you do an Easter egg, pretty much we start with power. And power's in the very center of the room where the MPD is, if you don't already know how to get that. I'm going to be showing you very few audio quotes here. For the most part, it's going to be directions. We're going to start right away with the Simon Says game. Right outside of spawn, you're going to see 4 sets of computers. Now, this is a little complicated, so writing it down is your best bet. If you write it down on a piece of paper, just write it down by color and write the first letter of the color, and you can memorize it easily that way. Well, not really. Just write it down. You can do it one at a time and just memorize how they are across, 4 across. So that's the Simon Says game on Moon. We're going to have to do that again later in the future, but for now we're going to talk about hacking these panels, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about the hacking device. It's a very good device on the map Moon that you can use, and you pick it up on the ledges of these tables. There's these white tables. Now, this does take a while, but you can hack each door for 200 points. Pretty much all of them. I would say 50% of the ones on the map you can do that for, and it's only 200 points. So every time you grab a helmet, a space helmet, it will switch it out, so beware of that. So the meat and juice of what we're going to be doing is picking up the hacking device and heading to the second floor. On the second floor, you're going to see 4 different panels. They're going to look like this. They look like lockers almost, but it's not a locker. And the one on the way right, you can hack for 500 points. So you're going to need 500 points to do this, so by the time you're opening these doors and everything, make sure someone has 500 points. Once you hack that, 4 different panels are going to light up green, just like this. And there's going to be still a bunch of other ones that don't light up green like this, but look for the ones that are lighting up green. And there's 4 of them, and you need to hack them. It is timed, or you have to go restart, and it will cost you another 500 points. So make sure you get all 4 of them. Then you're going to come back to where we originally were and just hit the activation button, X or square, on these. Now, if you don't do this right the first time, don't freak out. This part is not timed, and it's a little tricky because you have to go across all 4 and hit them at not the same time, but next to the same time. And so if you have somebody help you, you can get both these done a lot quicker. Well, all 4 of them done a lot quicker, and that'll be it for step 2. So now we'll move on to step 3, which is the Tunnel 6 excavation. And I'm going to tell you, once you get to this point every time, if it's not Tunnel 6, you're going to waste about, I would say, anywhere between 6 to 8 rounds before you can get the next excavation. So you might want to restart. But you're going to grab the hacking device, and once the excavation is moving over, it's going to start digging, and you'll have your audio cues that tell you. Now, this is round 10 when we got it to happen, and this is our second time, okay? So the first time is usually around round 6, around there, and you'll have the first excavation go down, and maybe it's a little after that. Maybe it's 7 or 8. But anyways, it varies each game, and what we're going to do with the hacking device now is inside the spawn room. Well, I'm calling this the spawn room once you get on the moon, because it's respawn on the moon. There are these other panels that you can do. I'm going to call them the control panels, and you're going to hack the one that's lit up green. And for Tunnel 6, it's going to be that one next to this door that you just saw, and that'll rise it up. Which brings us to a very spendy part of this Easter egg. You're going to need to hit the box and get the wave gun. It is the wonder weapon. It's only obtainable by the box. So we're going to go ahead and pick that sucker up. We're going to need this here in the next step of part 3. So what this did, actually, is the excavation, when it rose, it left this moon egg. And this moon egg is very important. We're going to need to get that into the MPD. So you can actually shoot this with any weapon, and it'll start moving. I've actually shot it with the pistol, and it's worked 100 times. You have to hit it in the right spot, so if you shoot it and it doesn't move, just keep shooting it. Shoot it from a different angle. It'll move eventually. It's going to travel all the way through Tunnel 6, and on Tunnel 6 is the only place that you can spawn this egg. So if it's excavating in Tunnel 11, not going to work. If it's excavating the biodome, it's not going to work. Once you get it through Tunnel 6, though, it's going to go up onto this satellite, and you're going to need to put the wave gun together so it becomes a singular shot and not dual wield, and you'll shoot it. And it's the max wave gun is what it's actually called. And you're going to need to shoot the end point of that satellite, and it'll drop the egg next to Tunnel 11. When you open the door, it's just going to slide right through. Okay, so you're just going to walk through, and then in the same room, I actually walked to the other room here, got confused. It's on the side of the right side when you first walk in. And you can just shoot that and it'll start traveling through again, and it'll progress to the next room. This is where it gets a little tricky. It floats up there into the ceiling. You can toss a grenade up there, you can shoot a ray gun. I've actually shot a pistol, not even shooting it, really, just a little above the pipe there, and it worked. Right here it's in those crates, and it goes through the door here to tunnel, up through tunnel 11, and it's gonna bounce right here into the MPD. And it's straight into the MPD. So you can get a good angle on this. I'm not sure if I did here, but now that it's in place, the next step is filling up 25 souls. Okay, so that little tube that you're seeing there is empty. We're gonna need to fill that with 25 zombie souls. Step 4, filling the MPD with the 25 zombie souls. Now we're finally to this point. You can sit down here. If you have the pistol originally, you upgrade that sucker with PhD, you're pretty much unstoppable down here. If you get all 4 players, it makes this a lot more easy. This is the cryogenic slumber party part of the Easter egg. It's halfway.
Hello, Samantha, you little brat. Your time is coming. Soon. So soon!
So what happened in the storyline is Samantha's trapped in the MPD. She stumbled in when she teleported in, so now we got to get her out. Part of Richtofen's grand scheme is switching her position with himself, and so that's what we're working on. We have to get the Gersch devices, and we have to get the Q.E.Ds for this next part to work. We're going to be taking the teleporter back to Earth, and while we're at Earth, on the way right side, beyond the perk, you're going to see a shelf. On that shelf are 2 plates. We're going to have to knock that down with explosive damage, and it will knock it down, and you need to throw a Gersch device, which will suck it up onto the teleporter pad that will take back to the moon. I should note here as well that if you take the hacking device into Pack-a-Punch, you can close the gate around Pack-a-Punch, and it will give you enough time for all 4 of you to Pack-a-Punch 1 weapon. And so we're going to have the Q.E.Ds out and throw it next to the plates that spawned here next to Quick Revive. And it doesn't have to be a perfect shot. You should take cover during that step because the Q.E.D does have a lot of explosive damage, but either way, it set the plates next to the computer, which is what we need, and takes us on to step 6, which is charging the goldenrod. We're going to need to acquire something first. And what we're going to need to acquire is a power cord. Now, where we can find this power cord, it's located around the map in different areas. There are tutorials that you can search specifically on this, and it's in the locations, I would highly say, is the cabinets. So check all the cabinets, check the staircase coming up to the 3rd floor, and in all the corners, and you'll find it. We're going to set the goldenrod in place after we set the power cord in, which brings us to a very long, very daunting step. You're going to have to be patient, and the guy that's Richtofen's going to need to stand next to this computer the entire time until the goldenrod glows. I have audio of all this already, full gameplay. It'll be linked in the description if you want to hear all of it during this step. But we're going to progress forward here. You're going to have Richtofen go ahead and pick up the goldenrod. We're going to move on to the next step, which is filling the MPD with 100 souls. It's 25 in each tube. And to do this, you're going to need a lot of firepower. What I recommend you do is save your pistol. It may be difficult, but all the way up until now, have one of your weapons always be the starting pistol. Upgrade that sucker, and it's going to help you out in the long run for sure. I should note here that once you're filling up the souls, you don't have to do any other steps. You'll have to set the goldenrod in place, and that'll be it.
Time to die, child!
Oh! Daddy! Make him stop!
I will control them all! I will destroy you all! But not before we continue.
You'll notice I did not get Perkaholic or all the perks. Only the person who's Richtofen and actually switch places with Samantha gets that.
This must be the artifact Daddy was talking about!
Greetings. If you are receiving this message, it means that Richtofen has entered the device. If you free me, I will help you minimize the damage that he will inevitably cause.
Okay, so Dr. Maxis has knowledge of what Richtofen's planning to do, his grand scheme. And now Maxis has a plan of his own. We got to help him. So step 8 here is Simon Says game. What you got to do is the same thing you did when we first started. This time you got to do it 3 times because each one spawns a rocket, and we're going to need 3 rockets to blow up the Earth, and that's what we're doing for Dr. Maxis, okay? So each time we do this, we're spawning a rocket, and it's harder, so make sure you write it down on a piece of paper. Just write down the colors, man. Write down the first letter of each color.
Good. Now that I am in control of the station, we have one last chance to sever Edward's link with Earth. I will calculate the position. Retrieve the artifact and take it to the launch platform.
Go ahead and take the extra effort and find a pen and paper when you're doing this step. Did it on GRIZZ and Drac, doing it again. Okay, so now we got step 9, the QEDs in front of the MPD. That's what we need to do. We need to take a QED, throw it in front of the MPD because we have that moon egg that's out of place, right? So we got to center that up, we got to sexy it up, and we got some zombie points, and I'm not sure if you'll get that as well. Alright, this is the final step, step 10, Gersch devicing that moon egg. It's right next to the computers, and you're going to see it on the right-hand side. Now, you can overshoot this if you bounce it improperly. You're going to see we do it here on the first try. It actually bounces all the way out to tunnel 6 and totally doesn't suck it in. So we're going to have to sexy that up. We're going to get back a little bit further and try to pound it right in place. And it's going to suck it right up, and we're going to begin the in-game cutscene to the Big Bang Theory. Enjoy.
Finish the calculation. Launch protocol initiated. Launch in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 30 seconds to impact.
That's it? Seriously? All that work and all we did was blow up the Earth? What the fuck?
Goodbye, Daddy. I love you and I miss you.
Alright, that's going to wrap up our Easter egg series for Black Ops on the Xbox One. Hope you guys will join us for Black Ops 2. Shout out to Greg and Mepsi. Violent out.